This is section 5.3, and when I multiply, I'm going to pretend there's no decimals, and I'll just do the multiplication. 1 times 7, 1 times 9, 1 times 1, multiplying by the 4. 4 times 7 is 28, 4 times 9 is 36, and 2 is 38. 4 times 1 is 4, and 3 is 7. And we still add our partial products together. And now to place the decimal point, we're going to count the number of decimal places in the factors. And we have 2 decimal places in the factors, so we place our decimal point in a position so that we will have 2 decimal places in the product. When we multiply by powers of 10, we can take a shortcut because when you multiply by 1, the digits don't change. It's the place value that changes. And our shortcut is that we move the decimal point to the right the same number of places as we have zeros. So to multiply by 1,000, we can just move the decimal point 3 places to the right. When we multiply by 10,000, again, you're counting zeros, we can move the decimal 4 places to the right. And when I multiply by 10 million, I'm going to move my decimal point 7 places to the right. So remember that when you have a decimal number, you can always put zeros at the end, and it doesn't change anything. We still have 6/10. We just have 0, hundredths, thousandths, and millions. So sometimes you're going to have to add zeros onto the end of numbers so that you can move the decimal point however many places to the right that you need. And don't worry about some numbers are positive and some are negative. When we move the decimal point to the right, when we're multiplying by a power of 10, it doesn't matter if they're positive or negative. We're just going to follow the sign rules. So for number 6, when I move 3 places to the right, I'm going to count. 1 move moves the point to after the 6, and here's a second move, and here's a third move. And so I end up with 81,600 for that product. The second one, when I move 4 places to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, I get 0.085. And number 8, I'm multiplying a negative times a negative, so my product is positive, and I'm going to move 7 places to the right. So I will have to add on some zeros so that I can move 7 places. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the decimal point moves to the end there, and it gives me 23,960,000 for my product. Number 16, a bookstore ordered 12 books for $8.99 each. The shipping was $4.95. What is the total bill? So I'm going to multiply $8.99 is the price times 12 books to start. 2 times 9 here is 18. 2 times 9 is 18 and 1 is 19. 2 times 8 is 16 and 1 is 17. Multiplying by the 1, 1 times 9, 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times 8 is 8. I add my partial products together. And now I'm going to place my decimal point. So remember the number 12 is a whole number, so it's 12 point with nothing to the right. So I have a total of 2 decimal places. So I'll place my decimal point so that my product has 2 decimal places, and that's $107.88. And now I'm going to add on $4.95. So when you add, you have to line up the decimal point. So 8 plus 5 is 13, and here we have 18, and we get $112.83 is the total bill. And you can check this in your calculator, that's fine. The IMAX movie screen at the Museum of Science and Discovery in Fort Lauderdale is 18 meters by 24.4 meters. What is the area? And so we know the formula for the area of a rectangle is we multiply the length times the width. So I'm going to multiply 24.4 meters times 18 meters. And again, 1 decimal place in the factors, so 1 in the product. 439.2 meters times meters is square meters. Here we're working with circles, and the length of the radius is that length from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. And the length of a diameter is going to be twice the radius. The diameter connects 2 points on the circle and goes through the center of the circle. So if we have a diameter of 104 meters here in number 18, then the radius is going to be 104 divided by 2 because the radius is half of the diameter, so it's going to be 52 meters. And for number 19, we have 5/8 yards that we're going to double. And so 5/8 times 2 is 10/8, and we're going to reduce that to 5/4, and that's yards. Problem 21 asks us to find the circumference of a circle, and that's like the perimeter. It's the length going around. The formula for circumference is pi times diameter. And the diameter of the circle that has a radius of 5 is going to be 10 feet. And so the circumference is going to be found by using 3.14 for pi, and the diameter is 10. 3.14 times 10, moving the decimal 1 place to the right, is 31.4, and that's feet. Here we're asked to find the area of a circular clock, and the radius of the clock is 6. And the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. And we could also say that's pi times the radius times the radius. And the radius is 6. So we're using 3.14 times 6 times 6, or 3.14 times 36. And 2 decimal places here, so it's 113.04, and the radius is inches, so we have inches times inches is going to give me inches squared. So area is found in square inches here.